For our expansion, to share with you the progress that we have. Expansion, we have some special guests that will be joining us in just a minute. Ding, they are currently out helping with carpool because that's what the director of education and the head of school does. Okay, so we want to thank you so much for all security to our campus. We've been using the company name Verkada, and you will notice that we now have keyless entries at all of our outside doors. 21 additional cameras, which are great for safety outside of recess. All times be monitoring what goes on at our Redeemer to keep our students safe. We also know that you probably noticed our beautiful 8-foot fence that goes around our early childhood playground. And the best part about it is we can keep it securely locked every afternoon, and parents can come up, ring the bell, and our teachers can use their cell phone to look at no longer leaving the gate unlocked. It is secured at all times. We're very excited about that. The other thing is we're no longer a voting site, and we will not have a lot of visitors on our all times so that we are safe. Another thing that is not on this PowerPoint that I want to share with you is there are some currently in this RISAB grant, so that if taking rocks there to stop them. Now I'd like to introduce Ms. Jessica Banner, who's our Director of Education, and she's going to share with you some other great things we currently have going on at our Redeemer.
So security is something that parents are really excited about. The next three are going to be things your kids are really excited about. So you're familiar with our learning garden here and has been put into practice all year this year. If you haven't had the opportunity, I'd like you to go out and take a look at it. There's just lots of things growing there and lots of learning going on in that learning garden. Miss Anita Seegers does such a fantastic job teaching the science behind it for the kids, but then also talking about healthy eating and growing your own vegetables and that sort of thing. So she does a nice job with that. And we're really proud of the way the learning garden has been put into use during this full school year. You'll notice up here, a dedicated STEM lab is coming to us. Will be up and running for the 2024-2025 school year. So students will be able to go into the STEM lab for lessons, and they'll be getting to do lots of hands-on things. A lot of times when we hear STEM, we think of being on a computer the whole time or something, but students are going to be using technology some, but more importantly, using the process of designing and then evaluating their designs as they incorporate the STEM lab into multiple areas. So we're pretty excited about that. And then last but not least, and maybe the most exciting thing for the kiddos is a new playground coming in 2024 to start construction on that. It won't be ready at the beginning of August, but you'll see construction starting on that. And we'll be taking feedback from the kids of things that they'd like to see on the playground, and they have big ideas and what they can enjoy for that. With the playground coming up, there's some other things that need to happen first. So Miss Sarah Booker is going to come on up and talk to us a little bit about the expansion and what that's going to look like.
Thank you, Jessica. Good morning, everyone. So excited. I think we have been dreaming and planning and all of these. What our Redeemer is going to look like for the next step. That step is over. We have now developed a master plan. We've established phases of how to implement that master plan, and we are moving forward. Before we show the final master plan, I wanted to talk about two things. And the first thing is our guiding principles. Developed with the help of parents and pastors and church members. we wanted to look at what is our Redeemer and what are the principles that we want to stand on. And one thing is that the first thing is we want to be joy-filled. We want our students to be curious about the world. We want them to love education, and we want them to establish a lifelong love of learning. We also want to be a community that is nurturing. We want to establish bonds between teachers and students. We want this to be a place where they can learn about wellness and lifelong wellness. And finally, but most importantly, we want to remain Christ-centered. That is why we're here, sharing the word of God, rooting our foundation in biblical principles and the word of God is just so important to our Redeemer. So we want to continue that. That is why we exist, and it's why we're going to move forward. The second thing I need to talk to you about is the story. So there's a document called the I-500. It was created jointly by the ICC, which is the International Council of Code, International Code Council, sorry, and the NSSA, the National Association of Storm Shelter Association, sorry, National Storm Shelter Association. They came together and they jointly created minimum standards for that a building would have to withstand storms of high winds, like tornadoes, hurricanes, that kind of thing, where the structure would stand under this intense weather that we can have. And recently, just a few years ago, Dallas adopted. And what they said is that schools need to have a storm shelter that's built under this code. So if you're a school and you're not doing any building, you're grandfathered in. But the minute you want to do a building, you are required. So what does that mean? Can you go to the next slide? That means that our mandatory first building that we have to do, it doesn't mean that this is a below ground structure that has no windows, that's depressing. It can be above ground, and it can even be used as other things. And you can look here, this is a school here, and this is their storm shelter, and there's windows, and you really wouldn't know by looking at it and saying, oh, that's a storm shelter, that's really ugly. So we can make it look nice, and the interior can, look super nice. But the negative part of that is it's a more expensive building. It's 20 to 30%, let's just say 25% more expensive than if you were just to build a regular strong building, but not able to withstand a super duper tornado. So now we can talk about the exciting part, which is the new master plan. So let me walk you through this, and then we'll look at how we phased into this. But I'm just going to start here. Here you can see we are keeping our athletic field. We shifted it north a little bit so that eventually we can have a driveway around. We added parking here. Right here to the north of that is a gym, which is going to make this a really cool sports complex that can even be, kind of secured off if we wanted to have tournaments or any kind of thing. It's going to make a really nice area for sports or any kind of activity. In this gym, there's also a stage for performances and a lunchroom, as well as on the back, the option to create additional classrooms back here. Moving forward, there's another building here that could be additional specials, different things there for the students. Walking over, again, the original plans of the church was to enclose this courtyard. And so what we looked at is we looked at creating a classroom building here that would enclose the courtyard a little bit, provide more security, but also provide more learning center. So then we come down here, and another phase, if we walk around, again, getting in theme with keeping the courtyard as a center on this piece, is that we have a multi-purpose room as well as an additional classroom on top of the existing upper elementary. So that's kind of what we've come to. In our dream world, we would build this in 6 months all at once, and it'd be great.
Not gonna happen. But if you go to the next phase, I just wanted to show you another picture. What I love about this picture is it shows how we are actually gonna start using this side of our campus more. We are almost, and we kind of stick over here. So we've got all this land and it's gonna make a lot of use out of the land that we have. It's very valuable. Okay, so what are the phases? How did we decide what to build first? There's a lot of exciting buildings here, but then we go back to the storm shelter. Knowing that, we wanted to build at the most cost-effective location, which happens to be this building right here, because it's flat, it's graded, we have utility access, it's just the easiest and most prudent place to start building. However, when we do that, when we build this building here, we're gonna lose some parking spaces. I don't know about you, but I think we're already tight on parking spaces. So before we do that, we're gonna come through here, and we'll look at this again. We're gonna come through here and add the parking spaces down here and shift the field up. Plus, because our playground's not in such great condition, we don't want to build, we need a new playground. We don't want to put it in the same spot because eventually we're going to want to have this area open for other uses. We're going to move the playground and it's going to be back there as well. And then just to complete this circle, the third part of phase one is going to be adding above the upper elementary. Then we're going to come back and add a 16,000 square foot gym, as well as a 12,000 square foot 2-story classroom. And finally, place to build, this is the gray, we'll come back and we'll add this 2-story classroom addition. It's right here. Yep, that will be the storm shelter. And it's going to look great. We're going to make sure it looks good. It will have fewer windows, but that will also provide security as well. So this is phase A, B, and C. And again, I just wanted to show you we're maintaining the athletic field. We'll probably have to do some work on the circle drive here, but that's nothing major. We've got the playground and the additional parking. Then we'll come over here, build the classrooms, and then come over here and do this upper room. And just to recap, I want to kind of just go through all of the phases. You go. So phase 1A, just to be clear, it's playground, it's getting the parking, and really making sure our field is solidified where we want it for the future. Phase 1B is building the classrooms over. Check that box off. It's actually gonna, the capacity, because you don't have to have, like, everyone doesn't need 10 square feet for a storm shelter. It's meant just to be there for, I don't know, an hour or 30 minutes to 2 hours. So we can actually fit 910 people. Our campus will be able to have 910 people with an all fit in a storm shelter. So we won't have to build another storm shelter, for a long time. Again, that's the most cost-effective location. We've got 6 new classrooms, and it really is going to enhance our courtyard. For now, and that's part of my favorite day, is seeing all of our families talking and sharing and growing, and it's just fabulous. So it's going to even provide more security, which I think is going to be nice, because we'll do some walkways and we're going to make that whole area really, it's kind of the heartbeat of the campus. And then finally, in phase 1C, we will build that multi-purpose room. And I know there's our vision for this room is it's going to be set up for technology. So like meetings like this, it'll have all the speakers. We can be recording it. If we have lectures, we can be giving that out. It will be a place where kids could do performances, debates, where we could have lunches. It's going to be a really great meal. We won't have a kitchen up there, but we'll have a catering kitchen, so that we could do some smaller events. It's going to be over 3,000 square feet. It's going to be over twice the size of this room, about 2.5 times the size of this room right here. So that's really exciting. And there'll be an additional classroom up there, which we could use for the upper grades till we get everything else built, which is very exciting. So I just want to say, you know, the master plan, we really feel like going with phase one and doing it in parts, what that allows us to break up the investment costs and it allows us to start getting things done sooner. So we can start moving forward much quicker than if we were trying to do everything all at once. So where are we now? Well, we've already engaged our architect firm, HKS, to do schematics, to start looking at what we want inside the walls to look like. We've kind of got the plan here, but what's actually inside the. And they're looking at the building, the storm shelter building, as well as the expansion above the classrooms. We've also engaged RLG. They're going to do the surveying and the platting. And I think we've got a contract on a civil engineer that is going to help us with the parking lot. That's what we need to do there. Now, in progress, we're trying to figure out what permits we need to start on the parking lot and the playground. We're vetting construction companies, and then we're working on our financial projections, especially when it comes to this building. What do we need to raise before we can start actually building it? So we hope when you come back from your wonderful summer that we've been hard at work getting a lot of these things done, and we will have timeline for you. We will have more detailed plans of what's going to happen when. Hope to solidify everything even more. But we're so excited because kind of the nebulous expansion dream is really now on paper, on pencil, and it's moving. And if you have any questions, so just let me know afterwards. I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, we'll stop right there.
Oh, okay.
That's perfect. You didn't even know you did it, so thank you very much. Today is a very special day, parents. We have a head of school and a director of education. So I would like to introduce the head of school for today, Mr. Phil Collins, to help me do today. Mr. Collins, tell me some things and fans out in the crowd, what are some things you like about our Redeemer? Oh, he likes the teachers. Okay, any particular teacher? All teachers. All teachers. Okay, what else? Chapel. Oh, he liked chapel. Yes, yes. Any particular parts about chapel? When we sing and we praise God. Nice. What else do you enjoy about our Redeemer? Oh, he likes PE. What, any favorite games you play during PE? Hockey. Oh, hockey. Very good. And is there anything exciting that you're going to be doing today on your schedule of events that was shared with you by your secretary? Was there anything that you're supposed to keep a secret we're supposed to do today that we could tell all your fans? Yeah. What was that? A fire drill. Oh, we're going to be running a fire drill. Supporting children for good behavior, and then we might even take a nap this afternoon and go out to lunch, because that's what head of schools do, right? Okay, let's get Mr. Collins on the class.
We've got Miss Reed here today as our Director of Education. So she's going to be helping today as we walk around the school and observe in some classrooms. So she's going to be watching for what kind of teaching is going on, whether they're working in small groups or whether the teacher's using technology. So we're going to go around and visit. We're going to join Mr. Collins and Miss Davis for a special lunch today and just do. But I thought I'd give Miss Reed an opportunity to talk about what she loves about our Redeemer. Would you like to share anything you love about our Redeemer? No. She likes to learn. Do you have a favorite subject you like to learn about? Math. I like it. Anything else you love about our Redeemer? Teachers. Do you have a favorite teacher? Maybe your teacher. Who's your teacher right now? Miss Hutchinson. She's pretty good. She's pretty cool. And I bet you're excited to have Miss Baranski next year, right? That's pretty exciting. Well, we're looking forward to a great day. And we're so excited that we have extra help to help us out today. So we're going to put them to work. They might be pretty tired today.
So we have to share with these lovely people one more, some activities that are coming up.